Hello and welcome to a presentation where I'm going to talk to you today about a new science, a new way of looking at things, cellular health, and how to change your life to the maximum benefit you possibly can. My name is Gail Pearson. I'm a medical doctor working as an anaesthetist in New Zealand, based in the far north mainly, and also in Auckland. And I've got some things to show you today, and it's all about flipping switches, making you feel better and doing more. And don't we all want that? Constantly these days, we're being hijacked. We live in an environment which is toxic, whether it be the food that we eat with additives, with chemicals, pesticides, poor diet, bad nutrition, whether it be personal things like relationships or a difficult job, technology, Wi-Fi, overstimulation with blue light, pollution, sun damage. None of these things were around 100 years ago, and we are paying the price for it in our modern day lifestyle, and it's time that we need to do more. What is it doing for us? Basically, it's dimming our switch because we can't eliminate that. It's a reality of our current day life. It's how we live. It's what we've got to do to try and change this if we possibly can. So what does that feel like? Well, our immunity is down. We have brain fog, we can't think in the afternoons, lack of concentration, a little bit sluggish, can't quite do the things that we used to do when we were younger, bad mood, no motivation, want to go to sleep early, have an afternoon nap, more stress creates more stress, and then the body starts to break down. So I want to look today at what's really happening at the cellular level. And at the cellular level, I'm going to be looking at three different pathways. The first is oxidative stress, which damages cells. The second is mitochondrial decline, which works at stopping our energy production. The third is declining in sirtuin activity, which is a major cellular regulator of all of our cellular processes. And I'll be showing you how they all work together and how we can get ultimate cellular health. So science, and I'm a scientist, so it's really important that I understand about this, but it showed that our genes always have the ability to keep us healthy. Now, we know when we're younger, they are working to their maximum, but as we age, they start to get a bit slack and they don't work as well as we would want them to. It's the expression of our genes that change. We've still got exactly the same genes, but they're just not working as well when we get older. But I'm going to ask you, what if you could reactivate these genes with just the flip of a switch? Would you want to do that? Would you want to have more energy? Would you want to have less brain fog? Would you want to sleep better? And I think most people would say yes. So let's have a look at the first thing which I talked about, oxidative stress. It damages integrity of the cell. Now, if we think of an apple and we take a bite out of it and put it outside, what happens when it's exposed to oxygen? It starts to go brown. Well, that's what's happening to each of your cells when they are bombarded by oxygen-free radicals. They damage cells, they make the cells unhealthy, and the cells will not function as they wouldn't do. Now, as you age, your ability to produce antioxidant enzymes decreases. And we know that. We know that we haven't got as many antioxidant enzymes when we age. And that's why we try and ingest them. We try and take really good foods, but it's not quite enough. And the mechanism is changing the genes by a pathway called the NRF2 pathway, which we'll talk about shortly, which can actually make your own antioxidant enzymes. So what's the switch? The switch, as I said, was the NRF2 pathway. This is an intracellular pathway which acts at a protein on the cell wall. The product is called Protandim. It's an NRF2 synergizer, and it will lower oxidative stress. And remember, oxidative stress is the one that damages your cells. It lowers it by 40% in 30 days. And it also increases glutathione by 300%. Huge. So you might say, well, what's it made up of? All natural. It's made up of turmeric, great anti-inflammatory, milk thistle, fantastic for liver cleansing, Green tea, we know that's a great antioxidant. Ashwagandha and bacopa, really good for mental clarity, focus, and for decreasing anxiety. Now, put together in a formulation, what it has scientifically been shown to do is to stimulate that NRF2, or the protein pathway. And not only just stimulate it, but the individual ingredients alone put together 18 times more effective than the individual agents alone. So this is powerful. This is a powerful pathway working on your genes. And what we find is that apple, which was exposed to all that oxidative stress, no longer has the damage, repairs itself, and your cells become younger. They become more active. They become great again. And this is what really, really may impress me when I saw about NRF2. They did a study at Washington State University, and they said NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future. It may become the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of health. Now, this is huge. This is an independent study. It's not company driven, from Washington State University. This is big. This is science of the future, and this is health of the future. So if you take anything else away from this tonight, please have a look at NRF2 and oxidative stress, because they are phenomenal. So how do we approach this? Well, if you look on the bottom axis, which is your age, and you look on the vertical axis, which is how many antioxidant enzymes you produce, we know that as you age, your antioxidant enzyme production decreases. But let's see, when you take the NRF2 synergizer, what happens? You get more antioxidant enzymes, and it doesn't matter whether you're 80 or whether you're 30. The amount of antioxidant production is increased the same, irrespective of what your age is. That's why it's so powerful. And if you go to PubMed.gov, which is where all of these scientific papers are studied, you will see protandim and NRF2 on over 27 PubMed studies, which are independent studies, which are not being from the company, that have showed what this is all about and how effective this is. And that really blew my mind. Look, Ohio State University, Texas Tech University, the American Heart Association, the American Journal of Physiology, huge. Next, I want to talk about the mitochondria, because there's also a genetic switch which will reactivate mitochondria. And we know that mitochondria are the energy source, or the power batteries for the cell. And we want them to work well because they give us energy. And again, they decline and the power reduces as we age. So we can't do anything about that until we can activate a genetic pathway. And that genetic pathway is called an NRF1 pathway. And this is responsible for making the mitochondria more of them. It's making them, it heals them, and it also increases their connections so that they work more effectively. They produce more mitochondria, and they are healthier. What does healthier mitochondria mean? More energy. This product, the protandim NRF1, increases your NRF1 genes by 70%. Huge. And again, it's made of all natural compounds: alpha lipoic acid, grape extract, quercetin, acetyl-L-carnitine, coenzyme Q10. Unbelievable. And this is where we're looking. We've now got the NRF2 pathway, the NRF1 pathway. Phenomenal work at your genetic level to increase your genes by 70%. Next, I want to have a look at the Sirtuin, which is an overall cellular activator, basically. This cellular pathway is stimulated by the intermittent fasting. And what it does is it produces NAD. Now, it just doesn't provide NAD, it provides the precursors, and it also provides regeneration of NAD. That's the NAD pathway, which comes from what we saw simulate in the Sirtuin pathway. That's the NAD synergizer, available in New Zealand and in the US. And this increases Sirtuin activity by 100% in 24 hours. Phenomenal stuff. No intermittent fasting will do this. No other NAD supplement will do this for this period of time. So what happens when you flip all three genetic switches? We've got the Sirtuin pathway producing NAD. We've got the NRF1 pathway in the middle, which works at your mitochondria. We've got the NRF2 pathway, which works at the genetic level on the NRF2 pathway. So for those people who like looking at the science, let's look at the switches. And I want you just to look at what happens with the blue blocks when you put all three together. So not only are they effective themselves, but when you put these products all together, you get phenomenal results at specific genes. They have even characterized what genes they work at. Look down the bottom: antioxidant genes, healthy inflammatory response genes, metabolic genes, biogenesis of mitochondria genes, NAD recycling and NAD synthesis. Huge increases with all three. They are working together, and that's why we call it the tri-synergizer. Three individual products which are working together. So I might ask you, are you ready to flip the switch? Do you want to have more mood increase? Do you want to have healthy longevity? Do you want to have more mental focus and clarification? Do you want to live a life that you want to live? Do you want to do the things that you want to do? Do you want to have a healthy vascular system? And I think the answer is probably yes. So Protandim tri-synergizer is the way of the future. It's the way that we need to go, and it's the way that we can promote cellular health, which is a totally different way. This is not just supplementation. This is activation of your genes. And this company has taken it even further. They're using NRF2 technology also in their skincare and their hair care. We'll do another presentation on that later, but just to say that these are leading edge products. You will not see other products like this on the market, and they are phenomenal. But everyone's results vary, and everyone is unique and different. We know that. And we do not claim to diagnose, mitigate, or treat any diseases. So where do you go from here? Well, you could just activate your genes, activate your cells, and become a customer. You order online, it's really simple, and you have full control of what and when you order. Or else you could join us, sharing the products with other people and changing people's lives. Or if you want more information, please just contact the person who shared this video with you. And thank you for your time. And I hope I've educated you tonight about cellular health. And I hope that you go away from this thinking, wow, this is something phenomenal. And this is something that I really, really want to go for. Thank you very much.